Item 6 on the agenda, the meaning of life. Now, Harry, you've had some thoughts on this?
Yeah, I've had a team working on this over the past few weeks, and what we've come up with can be reduced to two fundamental concepts. One, people are not wearing enough hats.
This is Pope Francis, and this on his head is a mitre.
You look at the scripture,
Right.
the hair, and the covering.
Though while Orthodox bishops wear a rounded mitre, the Catholic version looks kind of like two triangular points split by a sweeping indentation.
Bishop has a pointy hat on one day and a round hat on another day. Cardinal has a red hat, Pope has a... Well, everybody's got a fucking hat!
Connecting the so-called horns to the Old and New Testament became a common metaphor.
The act of wielding boils down to a desire to embody modest dress and character.
All you got to do is what does the word covering mean?
That's right.
It represented the glorified power of Christian leaders.
I started to question all this stupid hat shit when I was a kid.
Covering is incomplete.
That's right.
You see, when a child is born, it has hair, it has a covering.
Right.
Just like how a bishop in a modern game of chess often looks like a modern mitre, a medieval chess piece reflects the church uniform of the time.
For others, it can also be an opportunity to outwardly express their Muslim faith.
As a sign of recognizing the supremacy of God above them. Sikhs also have a highly symbolic and recognizable form of head covering, namely the turban.
When you cover your covering, it shows honor and respect to man on earth. That's right. And also reaches right into heaven.
For nuns who spend their lives in prayer and reflection, separated from the rest of society, the habit was sometimes a symbol of their vows to live modest and simple lives.
In the winter time, you find a mother telling her daughter, listen, don't you go out there bareheaded. Cover your head, put something on your head.
That's right.
Status and modesty. Status,
Cover your head,
and modesty.
put something on your head.
That's right.
Why I'm always covering my hair. I don't show my locks. I wear a head covering majority of the time. I am spiritual but not religious. People of Rastafari wear head wraps. Some of them wear turbans. Some of them wear tams. And for them, their locks is a covenant. It is in honor to Haile Selassie and their devotion to Rastafari. They protect and cover their hair, which is like an antenna. It's like an antenna and a connection to Haile Selassie, to the higher one. The more that you live and surround yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do, then you will do them more. I cover my hair because it is a part of my crown chakra. My crown chakra is the base of my spirituality. It is my connection, my spiritual connection to source, to my higher self. I think it's important that I put it that my hair is a part of that. My hair is an antenna. My crown chakra is the base of my spirituality. Hair, which is like an antenna.
Zara Keel, a freshman at Ballard College Prep, was disqualified from the volleyball match in September because she was wearing a hijab.
And
players will no longer need association approval to wear religious headwear during competition.
Some observant Muslim women do not choose to cover their hair or only wear a form of hair covering in certain situations, like when leaving home or when praying.
So for now at least, the national decision only applies to volleyball. However, the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association has already changed its rules to apply to all sports.
Muslim men can also wear a fakia or cap during prayer and religious ceremonies.
That if a boy or a man went into a church, he had to remove his hat in order to honor the presence of God. But they had already told me that God was everywhere. So I used to wonder, well, if God is everywhere, why would you even own a hat?
But I would have you know,
I want you to know this.
that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of it. What?
The head of every man. The head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man. The head of every man. The head of every man is Christ.
And just to confuse things further, they told the women exactly the opposite.
Is the man.
Is the man.
The head of the woman.
The head of the woman.
Is the man.
Is the man.
Is the man.
Is the man.
And the head of Christ.
The head of Christ. Head of it. What?
And the head of Christ.
The head of Christ.
Is God.
That means the head of that flesh is the spirit.
That's right.
The order is now the Father, God the Son, the man or husband, and the woman or wife.
The head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man is Christ.
The veil or covering on the head of a believing Corinthian wife showed that she was under the authority of her husband, and therefore under submission to God.
At certain times, like in the history of women wearing hijabs, certain hair coverings were suppressed and discouraged by governments. At others, like in Sikhism until 1907, it was only enforced for certain followers and not others according to gender.
For many Muslim women, the hijab is worn out of a desire to fulfill a commandment of God.
She looked at the scripture. Right. The hair as a covering.
Hair, which is like an antenna.
If you see someone wearing a certain hat or head covering, you immediately know that they're a follower of a specific religious group.
I think all religions should have one rule and one rule only. Hats optional. No.